Welcome to the Hart County Chamber of Commerce 2020 Awards, sponsored by Oglethorpe Power Company.
We watch, we whir, we click, we buzz, we charge, we flip, and it all takes power. Where does that power come from? For more than 4 million Georgians, that power is generated by Oglethorpe Power, one of our nation's largest power supply cooperatives. With billions of dollars in assets, Oglethorpe Power serves 38 of Georgia's electric membership corporations, or EMCs. Nearly half of all Georgia residents get their electricity from EMCs. EMCs are different from other electric utilities. They are not-for-profit electric cooperatives owned by the customers to whom they supply electricity. EMC customers are members as well as owners of their local EMCs. Georgia's EMCs represent a total annual impact of billions of dollars on the state's economy. Established in 1974, Oglethorpe Power is owned by the 38 EMCs it serves and is also one of the largest private corporations in Georgia. Oglethorpe Power works together as a family with Georgia Transmission Corporation and Georgia System Operations Corporation to deliver power to member systems by providing a transmission grid and by ensuring reliability through the control and monitoring of electric generation and transmission assets. Oglethorpe Power manages and maintains a balanced and diverse portfolio including natural gas, hydroelectric, coal, and nuclear energy generating facilities for a combined capacity of approximately 7,800 megawatts.
Good evening. My name is David Bettenbaum, and it's been my honor to serve as the 2020 Hart County Chamber of Commerce Chairman for this past year. I want to welcome you to our 2020 Chamber of Commerce Awards Banquet. While we're not able to be with you in person this year and enjoying the wonderful food here at Katichi, as they say, the show must go on. So we hope this format and its presentation will give you a view of the wonderful things that make Hartwell and Hart County such a wonderful place to live. To me, the awards recipients and this banquet embodies what our chamber motto really is: live well, play well, Hartwell. But before we get on to our awards program, I do want to introduce the wonderful staff and board of directors for the Hart County Chamber of Commerce for this past year. It's important to recognize the hard work that they have done over this past year to make sure, even though during a troubling times, that we were still able to have the show go on. So now I'd like to introduce our members. Our executive board is Jerry McCann, who is our vice chairman. He is a retired businessman in Hart County, and this coming year, he'll be serving as our chairman. Nikki Peters from Absolute Home Loans. Wendy McKinnon, Hart Telephone Company. Kelly Chell, Katichi. Richard Silpy, retired businessman in Hart County. Theo Derleth, Dancing Gardens, Lake Hartwell. Barbara Cronick, Synovus Bank. And rolling off our board this year, but have been great valuable members for the Chamber this past few years, Larry Torrance, retired businessman. John Osley, Edward Jones Investments. Terry Partain, Living Down South Realty. And Christy Rucker, Hart County Schools. I want to thank those members from our last 2020 board. They've done a tremendous job for everything they've done for our Chamber of Commerce and the community. Our new members for 2021 will be Michael Hall, the Hartwell son. Kevin McCraney, Georgia Power. Ellen East, Beacon Bed and Breakfast, Common Ground, and Studio for Whole Health. And Susan Barfield, Southern Hart Brewery. Finally, I want to recognize our amazing Chamber of Commerce staff. Angie Rowland, Bridget Richardson, and our Executive Director, Christine Blomberg, who was recently recognized by the Georgia Chamber of Commerce for her 5th year with the Hart County Chamber of Commerce. Christine and her staff have been tireless champions for Hart County during these troubled times, and the board, and especially I, want to thank them for everything they've done to help make the Hart County Chamber of Commerce the success it is this year.
Good evening. My name is Christine Blomberg, and I'm the Executive Director at the Hart County Chamber of Commerce. What can I say about 2020? Well, it's been quite a year, and it has challenged us to think differently about the ways that we can serve our members and our community. While it's been very different than a typical year, we were able to still celebrate many successes and a lot of hard work. None of this would have been possible without the hard work and strategic planning of our board of directors and staff, and each of our volunteers that gave of their time and talents in our work communities. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, supporters, and members. Without you, we would not be able to accomplish our goals and carry out our mission. I'd also like to thank the City of Hartwell and Hart County for their partnership and support and all that they do to make our community a great place to live and do business. We started our year in our brand new downtown location, which has increased our visibility in the community and has given us a better opportunity to engage with our business members as well as tourists and travelers. After COVID hit and we had to cancel our in-person events, we shifted our focus to serving our members through virtual meetings and webinars to help disseminate the latest up-to-date information about keeping employees safe, how to continue business with operating restrictions, and how to access COVID relief funding through the Paycheck Protection Program, the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, and many grants that were available to small businesses. We partnered with the Hartwell DDA and Main Street program to create the We're in This Together campaign and sold t-shirts in this community to raise over $3,000 to give back to our struggling small businesses and nonprofits. We also started a social media Shop Local campaign using the hashtag We're in This Together. We promoted our members' news and events, giving them exponential exposure through our social media feeds, our newly redesigned newsletter, and our website. We also revamped our tourism website, leveraging our community assets to increase tourism in Hart County. In May, we awarded graduating senior John Gordy with our first ever Nikki Meyer Scholarship. In July, we held our 5th annual Back to School Blast with the partnership of 38 businesses and nonprofit groups who generously donated school supplies to the students of Hart County. Thanks to their donations, we were able to serve 650 students in a drive-through pickup with a bag full of much-needed school supplies to help them start the school year ready for success. 2020 was huge for fishing tournaments in Hart County. We had 14 tournaments that brought 2,600 anglers and support team members and had a $350,000 economic impact in Hart County. We also hosted Fishing University for the 2nd year in a row. They filmed their show right along the shores of Hart County and showcased our community and its many assets during the tourism segment. This show is set to air in 2021 on the World Fishing Network and the Outdoor Channel, reaching 85 million households in all 50 states and 51 other countries. We were 328 members strong at the end of 2020, which is an increase of 14 new members over the year before. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, our 2020 award presentations. Each year, we receive nominations for our award categories. This year, we received more nominations than ever before. We are excited that we had a tie this year for 2 awards categories, Organization of the Year and Community Champion. In a year that has presented as many challenges as this one has, we are excited to award the winners and honor them for all their hard work during 2020.
What defines the Impact Business of the Year? Some of the attributes we may consider include, but are not limited to, they provide a highly valuable product or service. They have high household penetration so that the company's name or their product is in an overwhelming percentage of the households within our community. Their mission and outreach goes well beyond the everyday business of maintaining a profitable operation, and they work to improve the lives of local people and citizens through philanthropy, local grants, and economic development. They continually give back to the community by volunteering key personnel to participate or lead problem-solving task force, work groups, and civic organizations. These attributes are easy to see in this year's Impact Business of the Year. This company produces an important service that we are enjoying the use of at this very moment. Many local businesses rely on this company's services every day, not only to keep their machinery and businesses running, but also to assist with longer-term business growth and business growth opportunities. Economic development is an important part of their company's mission, and they work on a highly competitive professional stage to provide timely businesses, research, and participate in highly recruit new businesses of the state of Georgia, as well as the Jordan Mountain region and Hart County. Their leadership in our region is well-trained, professional, and effective in managing their business responsibilities, as well as participating in the Hart County Chamber of Commerce, Archway Partnership, and UGA, Rotary, Hart County College and Career Academy, Leadership Hart, and Hart Industrial Building Authority, Power.
Thanks, David. Our first company president, Preston Arkwright, over 100 years ago, coined the phrase, "a citizen wherever we serve." That phrase has since become the motto of our company. Preston Arkwright understood, as we do today, that for our company to be successful, the communities we serve in also have to be successful. That applies not only to economic development, but to well-being, education, and overall quality of life in the communities that we live and serve in. I'm proud to be a part of the Hart County Chamber of Commerce, a resident of Hart County, and I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of Georgia Power. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barbara Cronick. It's my pleasure to present to you the 2020 Small Business of the Year. Small Business of the Year awards were established to honor the important role that small businesses play in the Hart County community and the economy. The Hart County Chamber of Commerce is all about the business of business, and small business is the foundation of it all. In Hart County, we're privileged to have a healthy small business community and a growing economy, although 2020 has certainly challenged us all. Today, we take the opportunity to honor a special small business that continues to set the standard very high. This small business has demonstrated all the characteristics of a successful small business. They have sound business planning, fiscal responsibility, innovation in operation, and above all, contribution to their community, their home. This business was begun in Hart County in 2007. Now, more than 13 years later, they have watched as their business has grown and expanded. But they're still known for their quality workmanship and their service after the sale. Customer service is top priority for them. In addition to these fundamental traits, this small business goes above and beyond in the community, giving back to their hometown, and that matters to them. Anytime you go to a community event, you can bet that this company has contributed. They have a heart for the community and of giving, and it shows. Among the activities they've sponsored are the Hart Habitat, Hart County Humane Society, Hartwell Service League, Hydra, YMCA, Hart County Back to School Bash, Hart Community Theater, high school sports of every kind. Hart County can always count on their support, FCA, and during COVID, they were generous enough to award gift cards to employers of some of our first responders and our healthcare workers, which was very important during this awful pandemic. By now you know who I'm describing. Travis Ballard and Rodney Cowart and their families, the owners of B&C Mechanical. Thank you, B&C, for being more than just another business in our wonderful community. I am honored to present to you the Hart County Chamber of Commerce Small Business of the Year Award.
We'd like to thank everybody in the community for contributing to the success of our business. We appreciate each and every customer we have, and look forward to doing business with them in the future. And we also would like to have the opportunity to reach out to other people in the community. We'd like to thank the Chamber for their help with our success in this business. And we'd also like to thank our employees, who without them we couldn't provide the service that we do. And we'd also like to thank God for being there for us and leading us to make maybe some right decisions. So we'd like to thank everybody for that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, honestly, we don't do that much. The employees and Brett, they're the ones that do it, you know. But the community, we try to give back as much as we can. The community's been good to us over the last 13 years. So anytime somebody's in need, you know, we try to help out as far as maybe somebody needs a payment plan on something, or you know, we've donated a lot of things that you know, as far as we're concerned, wasn't that big a deal, but to someone else, it was a lot of help. So we'd like to thank everybody, especially our employees and Brett and everybody again. So and to the community. So appreciate it very much.
The Business Person of the Year award is given annually to an individual with a widely recognized reputation as a successful manager and community leader. This year's recipient certainly meets that criteria. Her reputation for success was built quickly over the past 4 years in Hartwell, where she has partnered with others to open several businesses in a relatively short period of time. But you won't often find her seeking the spotlight. In fact, she would prefer not be in the spotlight at all, which I discovered myself in writing an article for the Hartwell Sun in 2019 about a bed and breakfast she and some friends had opened on Lake Hartwell. Coaxing this year's recipient to be in a photograph for the article required some serious negotiations. But the bed and breakfast was not her first foray into business here in Hartwell. This year's recipient had already partnered in a health and wellness business that included a yoga studio and partnered in opening a local brew pub. She then, again with another partner, opened a coffee shop that did so well it needed more space. So in the face of a pandemic and an uncertain economic future, she and her partners got to work renovating an old service center in a car dealership in downtown Hartwell, transformed it into a modern space perfect for the coffee shop a town like Hartwell deserves. Challenges like a pandemic aren't enough to deter this year's Hart County Chamber of Commerce Business Person of the Year recipient, and Hartwell is better off for it. Businesses she is a part of have been instrumental in adding to the growing and vibrant downtown Hartwell. Challenges are nothing new for this year's recipient either. As the former Executive Vice President and Chief Communications Officer for Time Warner Cable, she oversaw company-wide public relations, corporate communications, and industry affairs. Before that, she served as the Vice President of Public Affairs for Cox Communications. These are no small businesses here. These are large businesses. That was after she served as Assistant City Editor and a reporter at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution for several years. And as working in a daily newspaper, which I have done myself, I can relate to the challenges that are presented daily. She has served on numerous national foundation boards and currently serves as a member of the board of directors for the Hart County Chamber of Commerce. In 2013, she was inducted to the PR News Hall of Fame and has earned several national awards, including being named as one of the most powerful women in the cable industry by Cable Facts, the magazine. I could go on, but most importantly, today she is here in Hart County with her husband David and her daughter Hannah, where the family has owned property for the past 2 decades. We are blessed to have such experience here in our beautiful little slice of Northeast Georgia. Her kind demeanor and community-minded outlook make this year's recipient the perfect choice. This year's Business Person of the Year for the Hart County Chamber of Commerce is Ellen East.
Michael, thank you so much for those kind words, and thank you to those who nominated me and to the Chamber for selecting me for this wonderful honor. I so truly appreciate it. I am humbled and grateful for this town and for the support of all the other business people here, and for the many lovely friends I have made since we moved here full-time 4 years ago. As everyone well knows, no one achieves anything by themselves. Everything, at least in my life, is a group effort. So I want to give a big shout out to the partners in the businesses that I have here. Gigi Mocker, who is my partner at Studio 4 Whole Health and Common Ground, and Scott and Suzanne Barfield, who are my partners at Southern Heart Brewery, and Catherine Graham and Sharon McGee, who are my partners at The Beacon. Today I stand on their shoulders, They lift me up every day. They provide all the expertise and talents that I don't have to make these businesses run. And I so appreciate and love every single one of them. I would also like to thank my family for their never-ending and ongoing support and their understanding of the crazy life that being a small business owner can be. Thank you so much for this award. I think Hartwell is an amazing town. We love living here. I am proud to be part of revitalizing the downtown. I am proud of the businesses that we have built here. I'm proud to be part of this wonderful business community. Thank you so much.
I have the honor of presenting the Chamber Award for Young Professional of the Year. The standards for this award is as follows: an individual between the ages of 21 and 40 who demonstrates excellence and initiative in their business and profession, a person who provides a valuable service through community involvement and serves as a role model for young leaders both personally and professionally. I do believe this young man meets all the criteria and much more. He's non-judgmental, he's confident, a leader, fair, intelligent, honest, creative, reliable, he's caring, understanding, energizing, and he's fun. He's just the guy you know who will do the job to the best of his ability, and it will be good. He's that person you can count on to do the right thing, to make your life better, to make his community better without even realizing he's doing it. He carves a great path for people to follow. He asks the questions which need to be asked, and he unknowingly seeks to be the best person he can be, and too, unknowingly seeks the best out of people. This is true in the news world and otherwise. He's the man who is a strong team leader while remaining a great friend. Need help moving? He'll be there. Need setting a new path? He will be there. Here is a man who is strong, who is profound, who's a defined leader, and who's also a great writer, a photographer, and he has an eye for art. He also loves cars and football. I imagine that's Georgia football. He's a great news forerunner who isn't intimidated by adversity or change. While at the Brunswick News, for example, in 1 year alone, he was able to lead the news team to more than 13 Georgia Press Association awards and won the GPA award for a community newspaper, and that's no small feat. I know that. He took the Brunswick News across the finish line to win the gold medal, and that finish line led him to the move to Hartwell, where he took charge tightly of the Hartwell Sun and has seen the newspaper into a new era change of achievement and overcoming the challenges of 2020. He's doing as much in Hartwell, continuing to report the news, recording our history, as well as continue winning Georgia Press Awards. You could thank the University of Georgia for honoring him with a bachelor's degree in journalism, or credit his time in California being on his own, doing what he needed to do just to get by, including adopting a dog from the Humane Society and working with kids. You can credit his parents who remain supportive of all his moves, whether it was from Athens to California to Brunswick or here to Hartwell, or his older brother, who was and still is a great role model. You may say you could thank his tight network of friends that he's held on to from high school and all the way through college. He's a treasure to any community he touches. He's a leader, an innovator, and he is boundless with a camera and notebook. He's a person who brings passion and personality to every occasion. He brings humor, insight, thoughtfulness, and not judgment. Basically, he's the guy you want to know and appreciate. And just to say, keep being you. It's really working. I am very grateful Michael Hall took the leap of faith to Hartwell as a publisher of the Hartwell Sun. Congratulations, Michael. We hope that this will be your home for a long time.
Thank you, Peggy, for presenting this award. It's a major surprise to me. I had no idea. In fact, I don't even know that I am totally deserving of this. I guess actually Peggy should be a little bit deserving because she called me on a random Tuesday in 2018 asking me if I was interested in coming to Hartwell up from the coast. And here we are 2 years later, and I'm just honored and flattered by this. It's not something that I do alone. I've got a great system in place at the Hartwell Sun that I just kind of work within those confines. And even more importantly, we've got a staff there in Susan Culver, LaDonna Harris, Grayson Williams, Drew Dotson, Melissa Frankham, Vicki Baskins. Peggy was a part of that, and it's just it's really an honor, and I'm flattered. I couldn't do this without our staff, and I couldn't do this without this community being so accepting and so warm ever since I've been here. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Barbara Cronick. It is my pleasure to present to you today the Hart County Chamber of Commerce Community Champion of 2020. Community champion, what does that mean? Well, Webster tells us that a champion is a person who fights or argues for a cause on behalf of someone else. So a community champion is a person who fights for his community. He's motivated simply by his desire to improve, build, and encourage. A true servant leader. This year, we honor someone who epitomizes that definition of community champion. This person is someone with a vision of a better place, a place where people help one another and where people care about one another, not just those who look or act like them. More importantly, this person has acted on his vision and drug other people along with him. After retiring from Bell South AT&T, he moved from Atlanta to Hart County and fell in love with our area. He decided to call it home. But in his new home, he saw poverty and food insecurity, and he wanted to do something to help, so he went to work. He's the current president of the St. Vincent de Paul Society, which is a community outreach ministry of the Sacred Heart Catholic Church here in Hart County. He's also a leader of the Hart County Poverty Task Force. Both of these organizations are aimed at helping those in our community who struggle with food insecurity or need financial assistance. In his work with these organizations, he's led the charge to find creative ways to get food to those who need it. Nonprofits are normally dependent upon donations, but he had an idea. Restaurants and grocery stores must discard food that's unused at the end of the day, resulting in perfectly good food going to waste. He wondered if there was a better way. Working with local restaurants and grocery stores, he was able to reach agreements to collect that unused food at the end of every day and deliver it to food pantries and churches in Hart County. And that they could deliver that food out to families who don't have enough to eat. This arrangement has become known as the Food Recovery Program. Since November of 2018, with the beginning of the Food Recovery Program, St. Vincent de Paul, through November of this year, this champion has facilitated the donation of 18,508 pounds of food. This results or translates to 16,522 meals. That value, if they were to have had to pay for that food, would have been $31,463 is the estimation. 8,665 volunteer minutes went into making sure that food was delivered where it was needed, and 2,614 volunteer miles to deliver that food and collect it. This food's gone to 13 ministries and improved the lives of countless Hart County families. By now, you all know exactly who I'm talking about. While I was gathering the information about him for this presentation, there was one statement that was used by everyone who I spoke with, and that statement to describe him was, he is a true servant leader, a selfless example of a community champion. It is my pleasure to present the 2020 Community Champion Award to Dennis Morgan.
I want to thank you on behalf of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul for this award. Our mission is to grow spiritually through fellowship and service to service assistance to the poor. Our program, our special project, is a food recovery program. And I think while I'm humbled by the award, the real recognition should go to our donors, Quality Foods, Rose Acres, Little Caesars, Hart Partners, and Shankbone Farms, and also to our volunteers. I've got 5 teams that volunteer twice a week to pick up the food, deliver the food, and also to our 6 volunteers at each of the the complexes in the Hart Housing Authority. So I just want to thank them, recognize them, and thank you for this award.
This individual has always been a champion. Her zeal to help others is evident in everything she does. While she lived in Charlotte, she started a Meals on Wheels program called Friendship Trays, and it's still receiving awards today. Like many of our professional volunteers in Hartwell, she's an Atlanta transplant, but she continued her good deeds when she moved here and is a heartbeat of our community. It's no exaggeration to say that her energy is found in everything she undertakes. A huge lover of literature, and that's books, no Kindles please. She's held every office in the Friends of Library. In fact, she started 10 years ago the Wine and Cheese Festival and Auction, which has been the financial support of that organization now for years. You may have often seen her walk in the streets of Hartwell soliciting for this auction, and in fact, Kathy Bryant, the owner of Hang It Up Gallery, has one of those big signs in the window with an X in it with this individual's name in it. And she's proud of it, and that has contributed to her being a huge success in every event she undertakes. In fact, just before COVID hit, she had undertaken a project to place book nooks, little small libraries, where all children in Hart County can have access to free books. And I can guarantee you this, post-COVID, she will do it and it will happen. Our tireless volunteer has been the chair of the Imagination Library Low Country Bowl for many years. Anyone involved with that knows how much work that is. She solicited, and just goes over and above, she solicited the Piatigorsky Foundation of New York 10 years ago to bring classical music to our little town. The Piatigorsky Foundation's mission is to bring joy to people's lives and to focus on communities like ours, rural communities, small communities, socioeconomic depressed areas that would never have the opportunity to hear live classical music from many talented musicians. And we've been able to enjoy that for the last 10 years. Any senior, any child, any member of this community has had access to those concerts. But to show her vision, how she goes over and above, she has made sure that that same program is in at least 10 rural cities in Georgia. Because they were so impressed, the founder of the organization, the chairman of the board, and the artistic director of that foundation have come to Hartwell to see what she started. Some of you, no doubt, remember a play, a Western spoof that she directed us in at the First United Methodist Church. She's pretty much game for everything. On her remaining days of the week, those and where they come from, I don't know, you can find her as a greeter at the library, a docent at the Art Center. She chairs First United Methodist Church Closed Closet Ministry. And this year, she co-chaired the Mistletoe Market, which is the main fundraiser for the Art Center with Ann Stewart in November and December. One thing I know for sure, she is going to be mortified when she receives this award. She just say, well, I'm a small cog in a pool of many, many professional volunteers in Hartwell. But I like to feel like one of my favorite artists, Tim McGraw, was singing of her when he sang, when the dreams you are dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always be humble and kind. It's my privilege to present this year's Community Champion Award to our always humble and kind Tia Athens.
Bobby, how do I thank you for that lovely tribute? I am deeply touched by this award. When Christine called me, I was absolutely dumbfounded and speechless, which you will see is rare. But because between COVID and my asthma, I have stayed out of the city. I have been hovering in our house for most of this year. And to receive this award is just shocking. But I'm deeply touched, and I thank you for your kind words. In sitting down to reflect on this award, I realized in this year of 2020, the real community champions are our EMS, the firefighters, the police, the nurses and doctors dealing with the astonishing number of COVID-19 cases in our community. They are the teachers and mentors, the cafeteria workers preparing the food, the custodial staffs cleaning, and more cleaning. They are the mail deliverers, the UPS drivers, the FedEx drivers, excuse me. They're the grocery store workers who restock our precious paper towels and toilet paper. They're the sanitation workers. They're the voters who stood in line masked and 6 feet apart to express allowed their voice to be heard. They're the parents trying to keep up with their children being in virtual schools, or teachers trying to do both virtual and classroom teaching. They're the Hart County Telephone Company having Wi-Fi, so all students will have access to virtual learning with Chromebooks, and the students have been given by the schools to stay connected. They're Patty Werner and her team at Hart Partners distributing food from behind the Learning Center to families in need every Wednesday. Community champions are the people not being able to be with their family members in the hospital, and those who must carry on after losing a loved one. Community champions work in the chamber office and the DDA. Christine Blomberg and her staff endeavor to support local communities by trying to provide the PPP information on loans available and encouraging shoppers to shop locally and safely. Jason Ford with the DDA continues to work to bring new occupants to his team of Main Street Warriors celebrate businesses opening, not always socially distanced, and encourage shoppers to shop locally. The Hartwell Sun has carried on through the pandemic to bring us the news and, unfortunately, the obituaries. The editorials and letters have been inspiring and heartbreaking, putting into words the pain we are all going through and encouraging us to look to the future without COVID. Community champions are the small businesses struggling to stay open, the Hart County Health Department giving vaccinations, the grocery stores providing our needs. They're the restaurants creating ingenious ways to continue serving their customers safely, or to choose only to do takeout if they're unable to safely serve their customers inside. Community champions are the churches finding ways to spread the word of God without spreading COVID. Community champions at the Y, Rosemary contacting seniors concerned about coming to the Y, asking us to let her know if we walk at home, and even set up an outdoor program in our beautiful botanical gardens to get us out of the house. The nonprofit organizations are struggling to raise funds to continue their programs. The Imagination Library team is loaded with community champions. We have 60 champions who help at the Lowcountry Boil to raise funding to support it. All of the cooks and servers, the bartenders, the auctioneer, the small businesses who, as Bobby said, shudder when I walk in the door. Then there is my amazing husband, Bob, and sister Tammy, and brother-in-law, Hutch, who attend every event and willingly participate. Hutch makes his famous rocking chairs for every auction, and Bob is always there to help bartend and to clean up. So many others serve in their husbands' 10 bar. This year we're attempting a drive-through Lowcountry Boil so we can continue to send books to the 854 children without having to pause the program. Stay tuned. The library has community champions. Richard Sanders and his staff have operated with the skeleton crews for these many months, with Pam and Carrie offering amazingly creative children's grab-and-go bags. When little ones come into the library, they can't wait to see what treasure awaits them. The Friends of the Library provide funding for these crafts. We operate the bookstore in the basement and look forward to sponsoring Piatigorsky when the concerts may return. And we eagerly await our return to the wine, cheese, and a little jazz next January. More community champions work at the food pantry where Lisa Kolkovich and Keisha Henry provide food for the hungry and clothes for those in need. Then there are the volunteers from many churches that staff the register. The Hart County Training School class of 63 is led by Dr. Nathaniel Clark. Mickey, as he's known, and his team have spent the last year getting the Hart County Training School listed as a historical site. And on a rainy November day, they were able to have the marker placed at the school, which now houses the Head Start program on Richardson Street. Their next project is to create a brick walkway and then work with the Archway program in University of Georgia to restore the gymnasium from that school, a huge undertaking. Adam Brown is a community champion as he picks up trash along New Prospect and Reed Creek Highway. Just about every week he's out there. I am deeply touched by the honor of being selected as the community champion, but I recognize I could not do any of the things that I have done or worked on without the teams of people with whom I have done them. I gratefully receive this award on behalf of these mentioned today and salute our first responders and medical community for their efforts.
Hi, I'm Nikki Peters, and I have the privilege of presenting one of the Organizations of the Year awards for 2020. Organization of the Year recognizes the group that has best used their resources to better the community. This award is given to a nonprofit organization which does not earn any profits for its owners. Instead, the organization donates the money it receives to help fund the organization's objectives and goals. The organization I have the honor of presenting this year's award has been in existence for 17 years. They are part of a network of 951 community-based programs that recruit, train, and support citizen volunteers to advocate for the best interest of abused and neglected children in courtrooms and communities. When children are removed from their home and placed in foster care, they are often not able to be placed together. During their time in the system, they may change DFACS case managers and be moved more than once. It is their volunteer advocate who often becomes the one constant person in their lives. The volunteers are instrumental in ensuring that each child's rights and needs are being met while in foster care. As citizen volunteers, they bring common sense and keep the focus on the child during juvenile court proceedings. These volunteers provide critically important information to juvenile court judges and stay with the children until they are placed in safe, loving, and permanent homes. This volunteer-driven organization started serving children in 2004 in the Mountain Judicial Circuit and expanded into the Northern Judicial Circuit in 2009. The program serves 8 counties: Hart, Elbert, Madison, Oglethorpe, Franklin, Stevens, Habersham, and Raven. Through the last 17 years, more than 1,700 children in foster care have had the benefit of a volunteer advocate because of this program. Last year, 12 volunteer advocates served 22 children from Hart County and changed these children's stories. These volunteers are screened, trained, and supported by a small staff. This 501c3 nonprofit is governed by a volunteer board of directors. I'm proud to present one of the Organizations of the Year awards to Northeast Georgia Court-Appointed Special Advocate, better known as CASA.
Thanks so much, Nikki. We were truly honored to be receiving this award. Our program is able to do the work it does for children in foster care because of the many current volunteers and former volunteers that we've had from Hart County. Over the years, we've had 30 from this county that have served many children that are in the system. These volunteers have been instrumental in making sure the children's needs are met. They do everything from making sure important educational supports are in place for children, medical needs, emotional things are met, and that children get the services that they need. Sometimes kids who are in foster care are separated from their siblings, and our volunteers will work hard to make sure that they get sibling visits. I'm very pleased today to have two of our current Hart County volunteers with us, Pam Gordon and Ruth Daniel, and I asked if they would like to say a few words.
We are honored to be receiving this award today. Would ask you to consider at some point becoming a CASA. Not only can you make a difference in the child's life, but sometimes you can make a difference in the parent's life. They just need a little help in understanding parenting, and when a family can be reunified, that's wonderful, but when they can't, then we're here to help through the process.
And I'd like to say that the organization supports us tremendously, so you don't need any information of past history in the foster care or judicial system. They are there to support you, and they teach you all the things that you need to do and keep you on track. So I'm really glad that the CASA got this award. Thank you.
Good evening. We love Hartwell. We see and celebrate its growth and its business boom. We see its great beauty and bountiful assets. Included in that beauty and assets are the people of Hart County. People who come together and support others. People who have seen and believe in the power of collaborative action. People who are hardworking, who care about others. But even the hardest of workers find themselves in need of help. One of tonight's honorees has made it their mission to do just that. They have taken one of the best strengths of Hart County, our willingness to partner, and created an organization that collaborates with others to provide resources to those in our community that have found themselves in need of help. Tonight's honoree has made it their mission to connect people in need with churches and social organizations that will provide the appropriate help, support, and education that will not only meet the present need, but will enable them to address the root causes of their problems. The recipient of tonight's Organization of the Year Award, despite being a relatively new nonprofit group, has provided over $200,000 in aid to approximately 1,500 Hart County residents since their inception in 2015. $200,000. When other organizations were having to tighten the purse strings or even close their doors, this organization provided help in a year where help was needed more than ever. Although the restrictions of COVID prevented them from having their annual Hartwell Health Expo, in 2019, the Expo brought together over 30 agencies to the YMCA as a one-stop shop for all that were seeking help and those that were seeking to help. Tonight's winner used their resources, their financial donations, and service partnerships to better the community of Hart. I'm talking about him. No, not her. I'm talking about him. Hart Interdenominational Ministries. Hart Interdenominational Ministry, or HIM, through collaboration and partnerships, has been able to provide assistance with utility bills, rent, mortgage, transportation, medical bills, you name it, to those that have found themselves in need. They have provided this help regardless of their religious affiliation, under the belief of the biblical text in Deuteronomy 15:7-8, that states in part, if anyone is poor, if anyone is in need of help or is struggling, do not be hard-hearted or tight-fisted toward them. Rather be open-handed and freely lend them whatever they may need. Please join me in congratulating Hart Interdenominational Ministry, HIM, as they receive Hart County Chamber of Commerce 2020 Organization of the Year.
Thank you so much for this. I am Christina Silpe. I'm the director of HIM. And I just have a few quick words. My feeling is if a community is individuals and families coming together to help others, become emotionally and financially secure, then Hartwell is truly a community. 8 years ago, Reverend Simmons and several other community leaders came together with a vision of what could be done to help those less fortunate people in Hart County. 2 years of planning, a small amount of starter funds, the sudden gift of rent-free space, and Hart Interdenominational Ministry was born. It has taken 6 years and hundreds of volunteer hours from many people for us to reach this plateau. And this really is a plateau. The pinnacle is still out of reach, but the vision continues. There are still hungry and homeless residents in Hart County that need help. Long ago and far away, sounds like Star Wars, I know, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who spoke at my college graduation, one of the many things he said was, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Thank you to the community of Hartwell for this honor and for helping to make life better for all the residents in Hart County. I would now like to introduce Reverend Edward Simmons, who started this all with a vision many years ago. Eddie?
Yes, I'd like to express my thanks as well for this award. We're very honored to receive this. And I'm thankful for Christine because really she's the one that's put in a lot of the work along with her volunteers that have made all of this possible. I stand and marvel at what's been accomplished in just a few short years that HIM has been in existence. And again, I'm just thankful for each one who helped to make it a reality. And we're very proud to receive this reward or award it as a reminder of all that God has done in these past years. And so I give you my thanks.
Each year, the Chamber recognizes one volunteer who is an excellent example of servitude to the Chamber and its purpose in our community. This year's winner exhibits that in their everyday life, striving to serve local businesses through Chamber resources and through their infectious enthusiasm and community spirit. Even before joining our Board of Directors in 2020, this individual coordinated and helped revive our Business After Hours program, resulting in several of those that had 75 or more attendees. He has volunteered at all Chamber functions, bringing both resources and new volunteers to help. He serves on many of our work committees and is our current chairman of our growing and thriving Events and Tourism Committee. Serving alongside this individual, we are also blessed to have the support and volunteer work from his beautiful wife. Her natural energy and charisma always bring a smile to those around her. She always graciously takes on the duty of taking photos at all events and helps with marketing and promotions efforts with her keen eye and her artistic flair. This dynamic duo never misses an opportunity to support local businesses and help with Chamber functions. You have probably seen them around town, serving in Rotary or teaching dance lessons at Hot Shots. These world-renowned dancers moved to Hartwell in 2018 after having lived in many major cities around the U.S., including New York, Las Vegas, and most recently, the Florida Keys. Even with all the excitement they have seen in these locations, they love to talk about how wonderful living in Hart County is and how happy they are to be here. We are proud and honored to have their time and talents in our community. This year's Chamber Volunteers of the Year, Theo and Janine Derleth.
We're both honored and humbled for this service award from the Hart County Chamber. We'd like to encourage everyone to participate in their community. It's not expected that if you don't give to your community, that your community will give back. But it's more than that. It's so rewarding.
Oh my God, I'm so moved. Thank you guys. This is wonderful. We believe in the Chamber of Commerce and we understand that when we work together, we all do better. We're really thrilled with the choice to move to Lake Hartwell and we love Hart County. And on a personal note, I would just like to add that we have felt completely loved and supported from this whole community with what we went through recently. And we're very grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Nikki Peters, and as the Ambassador Committee Chairman, I have the honor of presenting the Ambassador of the Year Award for 2020. To be an ambassador of the Chamber of Commerce is to be an emerging community leader and provide tools, resources, and opportunities for the leadership qualities to be recognized and utilized by others in our community. They are professionals who volunteer their time to help promote the community and support Chamber functions. As an ambassador, acts as the welcoming arm of the Chamber to ensure the membership is being served. Ambassadors are appointed the responsibility of extending the hand of friendship to both new and current members, greeting them with a hearty handshake and smile, making welcoming calls, assisting with ribbon cuttings, after hours, networking lunches, and other Chamber events. They are given the opportunity to meet and greet with regional business and government leaders. Many of our ambassadors will move on to participate in other Chamber and civic leadership roles as a result of this involvement in this critical member service role. Some are even knighted into the ambassador program. This year's Ambassador of the Year has been a volunteer in many different areas, from the Chamber of Commerce to the theaters in Hart and the surrounding counties to the Art Center in Hartwell, which he was a founding member. Though he is not from Hart County, he has completed the Leadership Hart course and has given many hours of volunteer work here in Hart County and the Chamber since moving here in 1992. He has been a director and cast member for many plays, a part-time on-air personality at WKLY, Chamber of Commerce board member, and avid traveler. To add to his many titles, I'm proud to present Ambassador of the Year to Sir Ray Stowers.
Wow, this is certainly a surprise and an honor. I want to thank Nikki for all that she does for the Ambassador program. It's been indeed a pleasure to work with her and the other ambassadors. I'm looking forward to working with her and them in the upcoming year. The past year certainly has seen its share of challenges, and I know this year will as well. But I feel confident as the year goes on that perhaps the pandemic will tamp down a bit and we can get into more face-to-face events. And so, and I probably didn't say it, but volunteers can be used anytime. But again, as the year progresses and events are increased, I'm sure that you would welcome more volunteers into the Ambassador program. But again, thank you so very much for this, Nikki. I will treasure it always. Thank you.
I'm Jack Edmonds, and it's my pleasure tonight to present the Chamber's 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award. It goes to a man who was born and raised in Hart County and whom I've known and counted as a friend for over 50 years. It was also my good fortune to bring him into the banking business and work with him for a number of years in the former Citizens and Southern Bank. But as he became more and more proficient in his job, other opportunities came his way, and he was eventually offered and accepted the position as Executive Vice President of Northeast Georgia Bank in Livonia. Later, he moved again and became President of People's Bank, which later became BB&T, also in Livonia. But during this time, he continued to live in the Hart County community and be involved in activities in the community. He eventually completed his banking career as Executive Vice President of Pinnacle Bank in Hartwell, retiring after 41 years in the industry in 2011. During his career, he successfully completed a 3-year course of study at the Georgia Banking School and served 2 terms as Director of the 10th District as Chairman of the Community Bankers Association of Georgia. I've told him and others through the years that while I taught him all I know, to his credit, I did not teach him all he knew. Throughout his career, our recipient has been involved in numerous civic organizations. On 2 occasions, he chaired the Hart County Chamber of Commerce Board and also served a term as chairman of not only the Franklin County Chamber of Commerce Board, but also the Livonia Chamber of Commerce. He served for many years on the Hart County Industrial Building Authority and also on the Joint Development Authority of Franklin, Hart, and Stevens County. And for many of those years, he served as chairman of both authorities. Always a strong supporter of economic development for our county and our region, he completed the state's Regional Economic and Leadership Development Program in 2005. He is a past member of the Hart County Board of Tax Equalization. He served on the Advisory Board for Accounting for Athens Technical College and on the steering committee for the Hart Workforce Ready program. During his active banking years, he served on the Advisory Committee for Small Business Access Partners, a nonprofit small business lender. He also chaired the steering committee for the Lake Hartwell Multi-Purpose Recreation Facility. Our recipient is a former member of the Hartwell Rotary Club, a former club president, and holds a Paul Harris Fellowship from Rotary International. He received the club's Lee Arundel Award for Vocational Excellence in 2009 and was their Rotarian of the Year in 2015. Subsequent to his active membership, he received the Rotary Four-Way Test Award. He has been an active member of First Baptist Church of Hartwell for years. He's a deacon and in the past has served as chair of their Board of Deacons. More recently, he chaired the search committee for their current pastor. In his younger years, he also served our country in the National Guard, spending 6 years in the Guard, a year of which was on active duty. Since his retirement, he has continued to be active and currently serves as Chief Bailiff of Hart County Superior Court. I mentioned making good career decisions in the past, but none of these were better than the decision to marry a young Hart County lady by the name of Sandra Brown. She and I also worked together for a while before they started their family, and her knowledge of our community and its people proved to be extremely valuable to me when I first joined the bank in Hartwell. The couple has been married for 52 years. They have 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. Our recipient is a man of extremely high morals and outstanding character who has distinguished himself not only in business profession, but in his volunteer servant leadership. It's an honor tonight to present the Chamber's 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award to Doug Cleveland.
Thank you, Jack. I really appreciate those kind words. I wondered about halfway through your presentation as to who you were really speaking about, but again, thank you so much. As you said, our friendship goes back a long way, and I'll have more to say about that in just a moment. But I was on the 17th tee of the golf course down at Arrowhead Point recently when I received the call from Christine advising me that I was the recipient of this award. At first I thought it was someone's cruel joke, but anyway, after the shock of getting over the announcement, my remaining 2 holes of the golf game didn't amount to a whole lot, because it never does. But when I began to think about the background of this award and think about previous recipients of the award and the fact that it has lifetime attached to the wording, it is really a significant award. I know all of the awards that the Chamber gives to the different areas are important, but for over the years since they've been making this award, I just thought it was always kind of special. And again, when you look at some past recipients of it, it does take on a more significant meaning. I've been greatly blessed all of these years to have different folks that influenced my life and helped me through life and helped me obtain whatever successes that I've had. My parents taught me a great deal about work ethic and how to treat people fairly and honestly, but there are 3 folks out of the many that I would like to mention at this time and pay a special tribute to. First and foremost is my wife, Sandra. as most of us men have done, we married above ourselves, and I certainly did in this situation. In addition to being a fantastic wife, mother, and grandmother, Sandra has always been my best supporter and encourager for soon to be 53 years, and for that I am most grateful. The second person that I'd like to express my appreciation to is Jack Edmonds. As Jack said in his presentation, we've known each other for over 50 years. I went to work for Jack in 1971, worked for him for a number of years before I moved on for other avenues and other opportunities. But our friendship and our acquaintance did not end with me moving on to the other opportunities. Jack has always been my mentor throughout all these years. Whatever he taught me with banking, it did not equal what he taught me in the way of giving back to your community, and that's what I've strived to do over the years and tried to emulate Jack. And as I said, he's been my mentor for all of these years. Whether it be for economic development issues, whether it be for Rotary issues, I know that I could always call on Jack for advice if I had a question or had a problem that I was dealing with at the time. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful for the friendship and the opportunities that he has presented to me and helped me obtain throughout all these years. The third person I'd like to thank is our economic developer, Dwayne Dye. Dwayne and I have had a relationship for almost 15 years now. Dwayne came to work as Hart County's economic developer in 2006. And during that time, as I was serving as chairman of the Hart County Industrial Building Authority and also chairman of the Joint Development Authority of Franklin, Hart, and Stevens counties, I had the opportunity to tag along with Dwayne as he was presenting his recruitment message to different industries, whether it be in conference rooms with prospects or on property sites where we were showing the different properties. And Dwayne always allowed me to be a part of that effort, and I'm most appreciative. Dwayne Dye, if you don't know, is probably one of the best economic developers in the state of Georgia. He came again in 2006. During the 14 plus years that he has served as our economic developer, he has recruited and been successful in obtaining industries that resulted in over $1.24 billion of capital investment for Hart County, and resulting also in over 3,800 new jobs for Hart County and for the surrounding area. So Dwayne, if you're watching this, friend, it's been a great ride, and I appreciate you allowing me to participate and tag along with you in these efforts. Again, I want to thank the Chamber for this presentation and this selection for this award. It is extremely meaningful to me, and anytime, again, as you can attach the word lifetime attached to it, then it takes on special meaning. One other thing I wanted to say about Jack, I think if you looked up the definition of lifetime achievement in the dictionary, it would have Jack's picture beside it. He is the epitome of being a lifetime achiever, and I know he accepted this award several years ago. He is still achieving to this day, and the Chamber may have to present him with another award down the road of a similar match. But again, thanks for the Chamber for this presentation, and I cherish it deeply.
Hello, I'm Jerry Mackey, and I'll be serving as the chairman of the Hart County Chamber of Commerce for 2021. 2020 has been a quite a year for us. But I think we've benefited from it in the sense that we've grown as a community, and we're stronger because of what we have endured. And so 2021, we're looking forward to as being a very special time and accomplishing much in terms of our economic development and more support of our beautiful people in our community, particularly our businesses. I'd like to say thanks to David Bedenbaum, who's served for the past couple of years as our chairman, and certainly to Kevin McCraney, who served before him. And my hope is to build on the foundation that these two men have established. I'd like to offer my congratulations to the award winners of the Chamber's Awards program for 2020. I was just saying to part of our staff, how do we top this? These winners were so appropriate and so wonderful in terms of the selection. But we always have people stepping up. We have a wonderful community of businesses and volunteers. And so I'm looking forward to 2021 as a year that we'll put 2020 behind us, and the things that we're going to accomplish over the next couple of years I think are just going to be tremendous. So my thanks to all of you who have participated, all you businesses, and again my congratulations to those who've won these awards. I think it's just each one of them was so appropriate and I think so meaningful, and we look forward to another year of great success. And so I thank you for your participation in this process, and again, the effort that's been made by our staff here to put this program together. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And those of you who have received awards, again, my congratulations to you.